Hello, and welcome to another battle report from the Brotherhood of Broken Banners. My name is Adam, and today we have an interesting report recorded at the CaptainCon. This is the Friday night 30-point tournament, and round one, we recorded a match featuring friend of the show Matt and his Rattleshirt versus Assad's Lady Stoneheart. Assad was very excited to get these painted up as soon as possible, and we really wanted to show off some Brotherhood content as soon as we could, so I hope you enjoy this one. Before we begin, some exciting news just came out. The U.S. Nationals this year will be held at Hyatt Place in Rosemont, Illinois on October's 11th and 12th. More info will be coming soon, but rooms are currently available for discounted block rate. This year there are no qualifiers to go to, but anyone can join, so if you're interested in playing with opponents from all over North America, I highly recommend looking into going. For more info and any updates, be sure to join our Discord server. Matt's list for this 30-point tournament is led by Rattleshirt. He's in his honor guard, the Bone Lord's Chosen, with a crazy combination of panic-based effects to try and deal damage without having to lift an axe. If that wasn't enough, the Bone Lords heal from failed panic checks, so it's hard to whittle them down. Joining Rattleshirt is a trio of raiders, each with different attachment. Raid Leader, Champion of Bone, and Skin Changer provide different types of utility, and being in Raiders are effectively free to include in the army. I like Matt taking a bunch of different options, as none of the attachments work well in multiples, save maybe the Skin Changer, who recently lost his Stalwart. For NCUs, Matt has Mance, Lady Val, and Steer. Mance provides a constant stream of tactics cards, so you're not sitting empty-handed late in the round. Val offers a replacement effect to enhance the mobility of the army. And finally, Steyer helps the relatively light armored units Matt brought to stay relevant in a prolonged fight. On Assad's side, he brought his own Horrific Visage and Intimidating Presence commander, the Lady Stoneheart. Her effects will help deter and maybe even weaken hits on her lightly armored bodyguard unit, the R'hllor's Faithful. The Faithful are able to give themselves Vicious, which combos with Intimidating Presence, and love to be in the thick of a prolonged fight. Assad also brought a unit of Zorses led by a Fortune Seeker. Quickly becoming one of the most impressive attachments, the Fortune Seeker helps force multiply the Zorses' damage by threatening to make a second attack off of the swords or the bags. Last for the combat units is the Brotherhood Archers. These long-range threats are nasty if they can get into an attack into your flank or your rear, and also have a free small maneuver and on an order to help get them there. Considering Assad really wants to funnel his fight onto his commander, this could be a very useful unit. Assad takes the Ghost of Highheart, Ravella Smallwood, and Thoris of Mir for NCUs. Ghost of Highheart provides a small morale buff, which is great for the Faithful and the Zorses, while Thoros and Ravella both have ways to provide constant healing, either with a started turn or a replacement effect. Today's game mode is Dance of Dragons. Assad wins the roll-off and chooses to put Weirwood between the center and far objectives. Matt then puts down a bog under the near objective. Assad puts down a low wall, no, a palisade, over by the far objective. Matt then puts down a low wall near the near objective, just outside of the range of the Weirwood tree. They then roll off again for turns and sides. Assad wins it again. They flip over the objectives. It's precision, panicked, and weakened in that order. Assad chooses to deploy on his side and makes Matt put down the first piece. So Matt puts Rattleshirt down in the middle. Assad puts down the Zorses between the center and far objectives. And Matt puts down Raid Leader between the center and near objectives. Assad puts down his commander, Lady Stoneheart, near the near objective. And Matt mirrors it with a Skin Changer unit. Next up, Assad puts down the archers in between the Zorses and his commander, and it's single player time as Matt puts down the bear, followed by the champions of bone on the other side of his commander. Matt chooses to go first And Assad uses But the Realm Remains on his faithful. Matt uses Mance on the letters to draw, and he puts a weakened token out on Assad's archers, influencing his Rattleshirt. Assad then uses Ghost of High Heart, and he claims the horses. He'll influence his horses and move them forward. Lady Val is next. She claims the swords, but replaces it with a movement of the Champion of Bone. Assad uses his pass token, so Matt gets to go again. He activates Styre, claims the bags, does nothing with it, but he does influence his Champion of Bone unit as well. Assad then activates Ravella's Smallwood and passes her. Matt gets to start playing with his combat units and marches up his raid leader. Assad responds in kind by marching up Lady Stoneheart's unit. Assad uses Deceitful Reposition to maneuver his archers forward 3. And Matt marches forward his Skin Changer's unit. Immediately after that, he takes his bear and also marches that one up. Assad then activates his archers and then maneuvers them towards the center objective, looking back at all the chaos going on. Matt activates his Champion of Bone and moves them forward so that they're just in range of the Weirwood tree. Assad then activates his Zorses and looks to line up a turn 1 charge, failing it as he rolls just under. He takes a panic and passes it. Assad's out, so Matt gets to go, and he marches forward his Bone Lord's Chosen, looking at the Zorses. He also draws a card for activating a unit Mance is influencing. Zoros is put on the crowns, and he zaps the Champion of Bones, who shrug it off, and that's round 1. Assad tried to go for a notoriously risky round 1 charge, which shows he's clearly looking to be aggressive in this matchup. Matt, on the other hand, is lining up across the board, probing for where to best collapse onto Assad's units. Assad starts us off with Ghost of High Heart onto the swords. He influences the Zorse Riders. He then shifts the archers forward and rolls an attack, but manages only 1 hit, which Matt declines to weaken because he passes it anyway. Assad then uses Deceitful Reposition to slide the archers back towards his 2 raiders. Matt declares a charge onto the Zorse Riders with Rattleshirt. He's auto in, and he doesn't roll a 1, so he's not disorderly. 7 dice on 3, Vicious and Intimidating Presence. Matt makes 5 hits, and Assad takes 4 wounds, and then fails the panic for 2 more. However, Ghost of High Haunt triggers and makes Matt's unit vulnerable and weakened. Assad then uses Sudden Retreat and runs away with Elusive Escape. Matt triggers his weapon trophies, which goes on to his Champions of Bone, and then Rattleshirt's order puts another one onto his own unit. Assad activates the archers and slides them back, declaring an attack on the Bone Lord's rear. 6 hits go down to 3, 1 saved, which Assad declines to vulnerable. Panic at a -3, leading to 1 more lost wound. Styre then goes onto the bags, influencing his Champions of Bone to heal his commander. Ravella is activated and claims the letters, drawing 2 and panicking the raid leader. Lady Val then claims the crowns, replaces it with a maneuver on the Champions of Bone. Thoros is activated, and he claims the horses. Lady Stoneheart moves forward, and she claims the near objective. No more NCUs, so it's time to go. The raid leader declares a charge onto Lady Stoneheart. Horrific Visage. Fail it for an entire rank. 4 hits on 5 dice. Assad loses 3 after failing most of his saves. However, he passes the panic and gets a faith token. The faithful are then activated, and the faith token is spent to get +1 to hit and vicious. 4 hits, 3 wounds, and a failed panic check, the damage of which gets rerolled from 1 to 1. Assad uses the other faith token in his unit to heal back 3. Start of Matt's turn, he has his raiders regroup and reform from the Screen Changers to the raid leader. Matt also used diversion tactics, and Assad lets him play it out since no tactical info is gained. Matt activates the Skin Changer unit, wiggles him around a bit, and declares a charge with the bear. He plays Overwhelming Assault to get crit blows and rerolls. The bear takes a Horrific Visage test and almost dies, staying around with 1 wound. 5 hits thanks to the raid leader, all wound, but he passes the panic to get a faith token. Assad uses Vengeance and Blood and maneuvers the Zorses to next to the Bone Lord's Chosen. Assad uses his other pass token, and Matt uses his Champion of Bone to go and claim the far objective. Finally, Assad activates the Zorses to sneak behind the Bone Lord's Chosen and grab the middle objective. Scoring at the end of the round is going to be 2-1 in favor of Assad. Round 2 saw Assad break 2 of Matt's unit's ankles up top, totally turning away from them and leaving them facing the wrong way. Meanwhile, down near the near objective area, Lady Stoneheart did a lot of work with panic checks on the raiders. The lucky bear lives to fight another day as well, and we'll see how long he can hang around. Start of the round, Matt discards coordination tactics and draws a fresh hand of 3. Assad uses the center objective to panic the raid leaders when he scores. Now that upkeep's out of the way, Matt starts his turn by playing Regroup and Reform, using the Skin Changer as a battery for the raid leader. Mance is used on the bags. He's going to heal up the bear for 2 wounds. Matt influences the Bone Lord's Chosen. The start of Assad's turn, and he also plays the Endless Horde on the Raiders. Assad also has a card, Regroup and Reform of his own, that he plays to move the archers to the Faithful. Ghost of Highheart is activated. He claims the swords and influences his horses again. Lady Stoneheart makes an attack into the poor bear. Precision means 2 hits and a wound. Matt passes both checks and the morale just desserts. Styre is activated by Matt, and he claims the horses, influencing the raid leader. Bone Lord's Chosen are then spun around to face the main fight, and Matt draws a tactics card for targeting Mance's influence unit. Start of Assad's turn, he uses a Ravello token to discard a tactics card and heal up his horses. He then activates them, sliding them forward their mighty 2, and declares a charge on the raid leader, making it in. Because it's the flank, the horses shut off abilities for the raiders and get crit blow. Since he doesn't have rerolls, Assad uses Price of Failure to make all his attacks land. Assad rolls 2 crits for 9 total hits. Matt fails 7 of them, with the wall canceling out the flank. 9 up panic check. Matt makes it, but Assad rerolls the 6 and the 1 damage. He uses that opportunity to play diversion tactics, moving his Skin Changers towards his horses. Assad uses his archer's order to move towards the main fight while turning his back to face Matt's commander. Matt then charges the Skin Changer into the horses. He only manages 2 hits, but Assad fails them both, dropping a rank. There's still too many of them, it's still strong even after being nerfed, and Assad fails his panic check. Matt then claims the objective from Assad failing. Now the bear is activated. It passes its morale check. The bear attacks and makes all 4 hits thanks to gang up. Assad fails all 4, but he does pass his panic. Thoris claims the letters. However, Assad uses a replacement effect and removes 2 tokens from Thoris to heal his horses up 4. Val is then placed on the crowns, and Rattleshirt is moved toward the archers, drawing 1 from Mance's influence. Assad then activates the archers, shifts towards the side for a flank shot, and lands 1 wound and 5 hits. Matt fails all but 1, and Assad tries a vulnerable at 6, but it rolls into another 6. Matt then passes the panic, and then retaliatory activates and charges into the archers. 4 hits, all wounds. Assad goes to panic, and Matt uses another "there's too many" to bump the check from a 3 to a 4. Assad fails, leaving him with 1 wound remaining. Matt heals up from Prey on Fear. He also gets to play out an armor trophy when he destroys a rank. Assad's last activation is Stoneheart's Faithful. He uses the Faith token he got earlier for +1 to hit and vicious. He then swings out at the bear. However, the bear is unreasonably lucky and just takes 1 precision wound and passes the panic. Last for Matt, he activates Raid Leader and attacks his horses. 4 hits, Assad takes 3, but heals 1 for Dauntless. Actually last for Matt, though, is Champions of the Bone in La La Land, who move 2 towards the fight. With that, Matt scores 2 more to Assad's 1 for 3-3 record. Round 3 was exceedingly bloody. I think there are more models off of trays than on them now. Both Assad and Matt have multiple units. They have to choose which ones will live and which ones will die. Even with all the fighting, the points are tied, so whoever can get the next few kills will really lead the game. When Matt scores from what used to be the center objective, he puts a panic token on his horses. Start of friendly turn, Assad uses a Revella token, discards Price of Failure, to heal 2 onto his archers. Surrounded exposed from the Lightbringers to give them weakened and vulnerable. Thoris is played, claiming swords. He uses his replacement effect to heal 4 on his horses by ditching 2 tokens. Start of Matt's turn, he plays out a second Endless Horde card. He then claims the bags with Styre, healing the bear and influencing the skin changer. Ghost of High Heart claims the crowns, influences horses, and zaps the raid leader with a 9-up panic check, which Ma obviously passes. Matt activates Rattleshirt and lays an attack into the archers. 5 hits, and not enough saves, and the archers go down. Order token goes out onto Stoneheart. Assad has Vengeance and Blood to play, letting Stoneheart make an attack action after Assad uses a Faith token for +1 to hit and vicious. 4 hits and 1 precision wound. Matt doesn't weaken it and dies to the attack. Rumors of death were greatly exaggerated, though, as they respawn right next to the horses. They immediately activate Declare Charge. I believe Vengeance of Blood confused everyone that it was actually a turn. Well, they get in there, and even on a disorderly charge, end up blowing the horses away. Assad remembers the Ghost of High Haunt influence, and vulnerable and weakens the raid leader, Junior. Revella is activated, claims the letters, Assad draws, and panics the bear. Matt activates the skin changers, moves them forward a bit, and then activates the bear to swing it on Stoneheart. Horrific Visage makes the panic check a 6, Matt rolls a 7, a 6, and a 1. Assad makes him re-roll the 6 with the token, but he ain't afraid of nothing and rolls another 6. 2 hits, both wounds. At the Faithful, pass the panic check and get a Faithful token. Assad plays Sudden Retreat off the attack and runs into the center of all of Matt's units. He then declares a charge onto the Skin Changers unit and makes it in. Assad remembers to use one of the order tokens but the Realms remains to heal up 3 while he's doing all this. Assad rolls 2 hits after a weakened token, and Matt, rolling hot as he's been this whole time, manages to save both. However, because Assad has more remaining ranks, the objective falls off Matt's unit, since Assad can't hold 2. Val claims the horses and uses it to retreat the Skin Changers. Skin Changers then slide back and grab the objective that was put down. No more activations for Assad, so Matt slides his champion bone forward again. And that ends the round, Matt scoring 2, Assad scoring 1, for a total of 7-5. In a 30-point game, scoring goes to 8, not 10, so Matt is nearly there. And with 1 tray left on the battlefield, Assad has 1 objective: survive. Fortunately, All of Matt's units are free folk with terrible morale. Unfortunately, Matt's bear has been rolling hotter than the sun. Matt kicks things off by using Styre, claiming the bags, influencing Bones Lord's Chosen, and healing up the Skin Changer. Assad takes the letters with Ghost of High Heart, influencing the one unit he can, and panicking the Bone Lord's Chosen. Lady Val then goes on the swords and replaces it with a movement with his Bone Lord's Chosen. To start a turn, Ravel uses her ability to discard a tactics card in order to heal 2. Ravel goes on the horses, and the faithful make a maneuver. Because of the objective in the bog, they move a mighty 1, but more importantly, they get a pivot. Matt goes and activates the Raiders to declare a charge. Not a 1, and he's in. Horrific Visage puts him in a -4 check, and Disorganized means he loses a rank before the privilege of attacking. Five hits, weakened to 3, but Assad fails them all. Panic is obviously good, and Assad gets a Faith token. Assad plays Lash Out after the attack to deal 2 more wounds and panic the Raiders. Assad ends up better off in that exchange so far. Thoros goes on the ground and zaps the raid leader. Matt fails, an intimidating presence and disorganized means he loses another 4. Matt activates the Skin Changer and charges in as well. Another Horrific Visage, another failure. This time for 5 full wounds, ouch. Matt still makes the attack and lands 3 hits. Assad doesn't save any, but passes the panic. Now the bear comes in, making a charge. 3 more hits, none pass with the help of a vulnerable token. Another pass, and another faith token. Down to 1 wound, Stoneheart activates, and Assad plays Take Up Swords. Bit out of order, but he also uses remains to heal another 3 with the excess order token. Assad passes Take Up the Swords morale test, healing another 3. Assad then declares an attack on the raid leader, using one of his many faith tokens to roll +1 hit and vicious. 1 wound, 3 hits, and Matt can't save them all, so the raid leader goes down. Another faith token heals the faithful 4 more, that's 10 this turn. Remember when Stoneheart was by herself? Anyway, Rattleshirt activates and charges, and Horrific Visage does work, taking out another 4. Matt rolls his dice, no rerolls from a disorderly charge. 4 hits, 1 save, and a vicious intimidating presence attack for a -4 panic check is still passed. With no more relevant plays left to make, Assad and Matt realize that Matt will have 9 points at the end of the round, more than the winning 8, so Assad offers a good game. So what did we learn? Well, apparently, Brotherhood without banners can be beat. You just need to bring a bear that refuses to get scared or die. More seriously, though, I thought that the Brotherhood really struggled with a lower activation count, since there was less chaff units to hold up the front while the other units picked their targets. The archers in particular looked like they were about to be absurd, but some good rolls combined with raw aggression saw them die really quickly. As for the free folk side, it does appear that Raider spam's viable even at 30 points. Mance was huge in making sure all the relevant tactics cards got played out. If you want to see the rest of the games from that tournament, you can follow the link and look for the CaptainCon events and stats. It had a pretty good turnout. In other news, we're also looking forward to the patch coming out at the end of the month. If you stuck around this far, let us know what, if anything, you're hoping to see in the update. That's how I'll know you made it this far. As always, if you liked the video, please drop a like. If you're feeling generous, comment, or a subscription. We'd love to see your feedback. And that's all for today, guys. We'll see you next time here at the Brotherhood of Broken Banners.